My mother-in-law and sister-in-law came to visit us in Alaska, and things started out great, but soon they took a turn. Vibes are low right now, right, Dill?
Yeah.
Visitors round 2. Today we're meeting up with Dylan's mom and our sister-in-law, and they're caravanning with us. They stayed at a hotel last night because they got in late. We're gonna use it for a shower, and then we're off on an adventure. After meeting up with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, it was time to pick up their van. They had a really nice Winnebago style van with a pop-up camper and a bathroom, so we were excited to take it out on the road.
Yeah, I forgot.
They're here! Not the best weather to welcome them into Alaska, but very classic Alaska weather, so they seem fine and happy. And we're gonna head down to the Kenai Peninsula with them. We drove from Anchorage all the way down to Homer, Alaska, which is about a 4-hour drive. Along the way, we stopped at some beautiful lookouts with gorgeous lake colors. We've made it to Homer, Alaska. We're on the spit. It's beautiful here. It's a little chilly, but we're all having a great time because it's cleared up a bit. I mean, obviously it's still cloudy, but no rain. It's beautiful. We're all parked next to each other on this campground. We paid for a campground tonight because Homer doesn't really have a lot of free camping. And they have hot showers here. And we're gonna go explore town. Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah! We spent our first night getting acquainted with Homer, walking around the spit, exploring the stores, eating at the delicious restaurants, and then seeing one of the most beautiful sunsets. Their van. There's a bed and stuff, and we got a pop-up tent as well. It's a windy day in Homer, but we're going to Kachemak Bay. We're taking a ferry, water taxi, across the bay to Kachemak, and then we're hiking to a glacier. Now let's hope the boat is okay with all this wind. Kachemak Bay is a wilderness state park that you can only access by boat, so we booked a water taxi to get there. We thought it might be a bumpy ride because of all the wind, but luckily it was incredibly smooth. We landed on shore, and then we walked over to the Saddle Pass Trail to get to the Gruink Glacier. We had heard that there might be bears along the way, and we had friends who had camped here and even seen some black bears. But luckily, we didn't see any as we walked through the forest and beyond to the glacier. It was such a beautiful place to spend a few hours. We sat by the shores, ate lunch, and then walked along the way to see various plants, wildlife, and the glacier from a closer up view. Then it was time to head back to Homer on the boat. We stopped along the way at this area where you can also only access by boat, where many people live, and it was just so adorable. When we got back to Homer, we had dinner. If you didn't know, Homer is the halibut catching capital of the world, so we had to get some fish and chips, and then we watched as they scaled and got these fish ready to be served for food. Then we went into the Salty Dog, which is an iconic location on the Homer Spit. It's a great place to get a beer, and then we went back to camp, watched one of the most beautiful sunsets, and set in for the night. We ended up getting into their van and playing a lot of Uno. While we were playing, Jenny started to complain about a scratchy throat, but we thought that was just the travel. How's the evening?
Wonderful.
We've been playing Uno for forever.
For an hour and a half.
The same game. But then we
came
came outside.
And the sunset's beautiful.
And there's an orca out there somewhere with Steph's finding it.
She's walking back.
We'll see what she says. We were outside at the campground and this man walked by. He goes, "You're from Maryland?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he asked where we're from. And he went to the same high school that Dylan went to. So he was graduated in 1978, so older obviously, but that's also the high school my parents went to. So it's such a small world. We're all the way in Alaska. I love it. And now we're gonna go have a fire to end the night. We had our first, they had their first campground showers. They were really nice and hot. They were great. And now we're filling their water. Again, the whole camper van experience. It's raining out here. So we're just having a chill day of going to drive to the next location, and that's it. We drove from Homer to Seward, which is about a 4-hour drive. We were headed to one of our favorite campsites. Jenny was feeling a little bit tired and sick, but we all thought she'd get over it, and it was just the travel. It is a moody day in Seward at our favorite campsite, which is clearly very rainy. We're like in twilight. It's currently midnight, and there's a flood watch in the area we are in Alaska, and it's storming. It's so windy. And I'm anxious because I hate being in the van when it's like that windy. But I'm more anxious about the fact that I'm worried about how Steph and Dylan's mom, Jenny, are doing, because I don't know if they're worried or scared, and I feel responsible for them and their feelings and how they're handling the van. And I can't sleep. And Dylan's awake too, but I'm hoping this wind and pouring rain stops soon, or at least calms down a little bit so that I can get some sleep and that they are getting sleep too. Vibes are low right now, right, Dill?
Yeah.
None of us got sleep last night because of the wind and everything, like I said. Woke up, still pouring rain. Steph and Jenny had a tour today, but it was pouring rain, and we've gotten texts that they can't see anything, didn't see anything, so that's not good. And now Jenny is sick, so we're gonna have to figure out what's wrong with her. And vibes are just so low, and I feel like it's our fault, but obviously we don't control the weather. This is just really not good. Last time we had a rainy visitor experience was in Oregon last summer, and all of us got COVID. So it's just feeling like, is this a repeat? Well, Jenny tested positive for COVID, so we all tested negative. And now we're trying to figure out what to do because we have 2 camper vans, 3 of us. This is a repeat of when I went to Oregon last year. We ended up getting Jenny a hotel room in Seward near our free campsite so that we could take care of her and she could rest and recover on her own. We also went to our favorite restaurant because we already had reservations, and we brought her some to-go food, which was a little bit of a pick-me-up. Luckily, Steph was really keeping up the positive attitude as we saw moose, explored more of the Seward area, and tried to enjoy our time on these rainy days. While Jenny was sick with COVID, we were all stressed about getting COVID ourselves. The positive energy we need.
I love it here.
Oh, there's a big thing floating.
I love it here.
Over the next few days, we spent a lot of time in our van just having downtime and exploring the outside because we had a tour booked that we had to stay in Seward for while Jenny recuperated in the hotel. Okay, Jenny's sick. Dylan's working. Steph and I were going to do a short hike to the glacier, like flat, a mile. But we got here and then we were like, no, we're going to go further up to the Harding, not to the Harding Heights field, but on the trail. We have no water.
No water.
No bear spray.
No backpack.
Just, things you shouldn't do. We'll be okay though.
Yeah.
We're going to turn around as soon as we
Can't do it anymore.
downhill's easy. We did it!
Praise be.
Praise be. We met a trail hero. She gave us water.
We stole water from somebody.
It feels so good. She was so sweet. Water's never tasted quite so good. So good. We just saw Jenny. She, well, we all had masks and she had masks. She seemed a little better. Katmai would be, sorry. Her COVID isolation would end the day before we have to go to Katmai to see the bears. So we're all hopeful that she's gonna feel great and none of us are gonna get sick.
None of us are gonna take her spot.
That's the plan. We're making it to the bears. So far, none of us are sick. It's been days. And we're now going kayaking in the pouring rain, and I don't feel good about it. This is the weather right now. Send help. Dressed in all of our freaking layers. The rain just will not stop this week. This is the 5th day in a row. There's Steph. And we're getting after it.
We are.
We walked back in there after we had already checked in like 20 minutes ago, and they canceled our tour. So clearly it's not safe to go out there. So now I guess maybe we're heading to Anchorage. We don't really know. But our tour got canceled. It's freaking miserable out. Yeah!
Getting ready to enter North America and maybe the world's longest tunnel. Unclear.
It was another very rainy day as we made our way into Whittier, Alaska, which is one of my favorite small towns in the Kenai Peninsula. You have to enter a one-way tunnel to get there, and then you'll get to this amazing view of the sound. Once we left Whittier, it was time to head north to Anchorage, and as we went up north, the sun started to shine. The sun is finally out, and we just pulled up to our Airbnb, and it's pretty cute. Spirits are lifting. We got an Airbnb for a couple nights. Spread out on a couch and do laundry and be able to be in the same space as Jenny. Well, she has her own room. Yeah, there's 2 living rooms even, 3 bathrooms. We're living the life. So we got takeout. Feels like a major upgrade. But this is all she's eating out of. Whenever we stay in an Airbnb, we do all of our dishes. This is a bag full of dishes and all of our laundry, of course, as always. Our laundry's done, our dishes are done. We're still at this beautiful Airbnb. Jenny's feeling much better. We've social distanced, we're feeling good. And overall, the week didn't turn out the way we wanted to, but this Airbnb has been a lovely reset for us. I think we all needed to get out of the vans. It's not that fun to be in a van and do van life when it's raining every single day. You can't do anything. And when someone gets COVID, you have to put them into a hotel room and they can no longer even stay with you. So it's been an exciting week with our visitors. Not our usual norm, but we're hoping for better things in the future. Although our week didn't turn out quite as we imagined, we have a very exciting adventure, maybe our most exciting adventure we've ever taken, coming up with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, so stay tuned for next week's video.